You said that you did not hate the members of the regime. How did you arrive at this very mature feeling?
Well, I think it's not my place to hate, because I'm just actually somehow I actually have tried to understand them, even though it's very hard. But I don't have that energy anymore.
So you never had the feeling that you wanted to destroy the regime, that you wanted to harm the people who harmed your father. You felt that you wanted to bring change through means that are not violent. You want democratic change from the outside.
And that's exactly why we shouldn't act the same way, because it doesn't actually work. I think we have to talk and be in dialogue, no matter what we think of each other.
So are you actively seeking dialogue with?
Of course.
With
because I actually want to genuinely understand, and I genuinely want to talk.
You want to understand your father's jailers, the members of the regime?
Of course.
Do you speak to people here in Sweden who are in favor of the regime?
No, but I have done that, and I don't think it wasn't no difference talking to them or someone else. They had their thoughts and I had mine.
So how optimistic are you?
Very. I think this will hopefully get a really, really good solution that suits everyone.
What makes you so optimistic?
Because I believe my brother is alive, and I believe that we can make a positive change in Eritrea.
And you feel that there is some momentum now? You feel that you have a sense that something is happening?
Well, hopefully it will happen,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm very careful because I don't want to get my hopes up too high either, but I hope we can find a solution.
Yeah, I was just wondering, in terms of this movement of social media, and there's much more awareness now about the situation in Eritrea, but that you feel somehow, I was wondering if you have this sense that that something is shifting, that there's more attention, that people are getting more active, that people
are getting more active, and I think that it's good that people speak out and speak up about the matter of Eritrea, because it belongs to all of us equally, and that we have to remember that.
Is there any thing that inspires you, that gives you strength, that has sort of affected you along the way, that somehow helps you in this continuing fight for your father? Any literature, any music, any people?
Well, I get inspired, I think, by my grandma, my mother's mother.
Mm-hmm.
She's still alive, and she had this sense of believing in people's good heart, and she inspires me a lot. And I also love Toni Morrison, the writer. she inspires me a lot too, because she write about this unbelievable force that Black people have and Africans have. Like in our, it's in our DNA, and this is not something new. That Eritrea is in this situation is not new. But it's unfortunate that we are the 5th generation still fighting.
So you feel it's like an innate force, an internal force that goes beyond the issue of Eritrea, but it's part of the history of Africa and of
Exactly.
your identity.
Exactly, and I think also many Africans are tired of fighting this kind of stuff, because we just want to be free. We want to live normal lives, go to normal jobs, have normal fights, just be. But somehow, somewhere I see the light. I'm really hopeful that Eritreans themselves can do this. Of course, with the help from the international scene, but I think we as Eritreans also have to talk to each other, and others have to talk to us, not about us, and ask us what can we do, instead of now we're doing this, but ask us first.
So change in a way that there's also this force that will act on its own, because you feel there's an internal dynamic at work.
I think so, yeah. Within Eritreans.
Within Eritrea, yes, and within the society, but also as part of the history, as you said, it's in the DNA.
Yeah.
And then from the outside forces, the social media and the international community. You still have family in Eritrea?
Yeah.
How do you balance that? With your activism, do you worry? Do you censor yourself in your head when you say things?
Actually, to be honest, I don't call them very often. But when I do, we don't even talk about that. We talk about like, oh, how is it there? How is my grandma love cats, and she still have her cats there. We talk about the cats. So we try to talk about normal stuff, because it's also important to remember that we are not just like, I'm not just doing this, I also have a life.
You're not just Dawit Isaak's daughter.
Yeah, I'm also...
And advocate.
Yeah. So I try to do a lot of other stuff, because that's also, my mother always encouraged me to do other stuff. That she always say, oh, you should go out and dance, or take a drink with a friend, or if I'm a little bit down. So she's always encouraging in that sense.
So what are you doing now? What was your professional life now, or what is your path?
I work to try to engage in the Eritrean diaspora, try to meet different kind of people, to see what we can do together, how we can help our fellow Eritreans, and also how we can engage and be more active in the society that we live in. So I do that together with my co-worker that I have. So we travel, and we also try to meet politicians and other people that can help, or we can get advice from. So we try to.
So you are an activist, an advocate for.
Yeah.
So it does take a hold of you.
Of course.
So this is doing something else, but still you feel compelled.
Of course, and I'm also like now I've written a book that will be released in March. So I look forward to that.
What is the book about?
It's about my life growing up without a father in Sweden, how that has affected me. It's about class, it's about racism, it's about love, it's about, it follows me from the time that I was 4 until I'm 22, 21.